Please read this disclaimer carefully before proceeding further. Welcome traders to this week's analysis of gold. My name is Vic. Thanks for joining me here. Gold had a fantastic week again. There has been a lot of volatility, and the last week was absolutely amazing. It was able to reach a few of our targets, and now it has presented us with better opportunities now. So what actually happened? Let's start with that first, and then we'll come back to the analysis. So this is where we started from. So last time we were talking about gold analysis here. So if you have not seen that, please go and check it out on the channel. It is already there. And then in the Telegram group, I mentioned that the market was actually this is what has happened. Let me go back and show you this. Okay. So we were here in this FCP zone, and we never actually got a confirmation below this FCP zone. So that means this was still acting as a very good support area. There were so many rejections happening from this area that market was expected to go higher, and besides this was actually running inside consolidation. And when the market is running inside a consolidation, you can expect up and down movement. There was an important level of 1806. The market was actually trying to stay around 1806 level or so for a long period of time. And when this market started to move on high volatility, it actually left few gaps here. There was one here, there was one here, and there was one here as well. So when the market started to go higher, we knew that there was a lot more chances of it actually falling down, because this was at the top end of the range. This was in the FCP zone, and there was a gap, and there were a couple of gaps left. So the market fell down on the completion of this W pattern, and then it came right into 1806 once again. Then it started to go higher. Actually, let me go there so that I actually tell you the right story, what actually happened. Okay, yeah. So it came into right 1806, and at that point in time, I mentioned that there are two possibilities. One is that the market will form a W pattern, and we also have a possibility of forming M pattern, because market was right in there in that kind of consolidation period there. So this is what happened. The market came very close to this gap, but never closed it. That meant it was going to go back up at some point in time, and it did. So actually, even before that, I mentioned that there was a lot of bad price action, and I mentioned that there is a lot of dirty price action happening on this. So expect sudden and deep movements on either direction at some point in time, because the market was going to trap majority of buyers and sellers at the same time by going in either direction. And this is exactly what has happened. Market started to go higher, went right into this FCP zone, and then started to fall back down. In that process, it closed that gap which we were talking about. It went into FCP zone, and after this started to fall down. Right from the FCP zone, it fell down, and it never stopped. It actually came right into 1806 after that, and then it formed an M pattern. And in the last day, in the last few days of last week, the market broke through this support zone that we have been watching for a long period of time, and it actually kept on falling down. And we'll come to that in a second, what has happened and what kind of opportunities we have. But it was absolutely beautiful, and we knew about this because of one major reason. You see, if you are using Vata and Visage, if you're a subscriber, then you know that what I'm talking about. The market was trying for a couple of weeks, 3 weeks actually. For 3 weeks, it was not able to break through this Vata and Visage curve. This is acting as a resistance here, and you see, this is what I have mentioned before in my analysis, that this Vata curve does not change its position or its color very soon. Market has been bullish for a long period of time, and this is the first time the market has turned into bearish mode, because it has turned red. When it turns red, then there is a strong indication that market is going to sell off more. There will be a lot more selling opportunities than buying. Even if the market goes up, there will be better opportunities. If you go for a sell in this case, then you will have better chances of winning those trades, and you can go for extended profit targets. So that is why there was like lot more chances of gold selling out rather than like buying. So let's see what has happened since then and where we are. So gold right now, if you pay attention here to this structure, gold right now is actually forming an M pattern. Remember, this is the price action I was talking about. This has been cleared, and this price action has been cleared because of sudden movements. And this is kind of like an expectation that I have on DXY as well. So the market has created an M pattern. So I'm expecting market to go down slightly more, maybe like for a day or so, and then started to go higher. You see, previously the market has actually gone up from here, so it can go back up. So I'm expecting market to go at least to this area, right? And then we will have to see whether market picks up momentum, because if it picks up momentum, then it will try to challenge this midpoint. This midpoint so far has acted as a double top. Another thing that you could have noted here is that this is a pin bar coming out of that, and pin bar followed by an engulfing candle, which which was actually telling us the market was going to go down. So far it has been acting as so far this midpoint has been acting as a resistance, and we have this double top there, actually triple top. But if this gets challenged and if it gets broken, then what we have is actually kind of a W pattern. And remember, we have a few gaps left here as well. So watch out where you are standing right now, because you see the market is actually forming an M pattern, which can lead to another W pattern. So this can be a good buying opportunity, but watch out for a good confirmation, because if this level is broken, then we have a bigger M pattern forming, which means that market can actually fall down to near about 1680 level or so. Remember, this is where we all started from. Like a few months ago, we took very nice long trade from here, from 1680 level or so from here. So the market could be coming down back into near about that level here. But it all depends on how it actually plays out here. So what I'm going to do, my personal trading plan will be, I'll watch the price action. I want it to go down a little bit lower. If I get a confirmation there, then I'll go for a long position, and then I'll get out or manage my trade around here. And if the price tells me that it wants to go higher, then I'll stay with the long position all the way to this midpoint or so, maybe a little less than that. And if it market breaks through that, then I will continue with my long position, and then I will go for a short once again. If the market actually breaks through this, and if I get a confirmation to the downside, then I'll look for a short position only. And then in that case, the market will form an M pattern. And after that, I will look for a buy from here. So this is what my trading plan is. Let's see what kind of levels we can have. So let's open the analysis. So if I go to the 4-hour time frame, this is what has happened. And so the market has actually broken through all of that, and we have been using all of these levels for a long period of time. So we will have to come up with a new one, new levels. So I'll keep you updated on the progress of that, and I'll give you all the new structures. But for now, let me just quickly show you, let me just quickly clean this up and show you what I am looking for. I'm going to leave few important levels here. Okay, there are no gaps left here. And now it is forming a pattern. Okay, so we still have this FCP zone, which is right there, and we should probably extend that between these two levels that we have. Okay, and that previous one is still there. Okay, so what we have right now is that if I draw Fibonacci from here to here, let's quickly remove this one. then what we have is that market is right at a level which can actually push the price up. So this is a very good level. We can see that the market is giving us a little bit of indication. It has actually stopped right there, and if the market actually gives us a confirmation here or maybe slightly lower, then we can look for a long position, and we will be looking for something like around here will be our profit target. Remember, this was used to be like our support zone, so now this should turn into a resistance zone. So somewhere around here, if the market starts to go higher, then we are looking for into this. But because the market was so bearish, I will go step by step. I will look for one level at a time. Okay, somewhere like this, somewhat like this. If the market falls into this FCP zone, then also I'm looking for a buy for now, unless I see a confirmation to the downside. If I see a confirmation to the downside, then I will look for a short opportunity. Okay, so this is my trading plan, and I'll keep you updated on this if you're in Telegram group. So let's see it's on what envisage. Okay, on what envisage on monthly time frame, we still have this target open. So near about here, 1561 or 1550 level is still the target that we have on monthly time frame. So it may take few months, weeks to months, for market to have go there. This was the indication, this was the signal. So far it is still valid. If I go to the weekly time frame, another bearish target is right there, which is this 1654, which is just below this previous structure support here. But you see, in this process, as I mentioned, if the market breaks through that midpoint, which is here, then it is going to come back down into 1571, near about that level. Okay, that may take few weeks to months, and you'll have to manage. You will have to manage your trades. If you're looking for such a long position trade, then you will have to bear through all the ups and downs. The market can go up and down on lower time frames, but ultimately it can actually fall back down into those levels. Okay, if I go to daily time frame, this is what has happened. So we had bearish scenario here, and then there was a little bit of a bullish scenario, and then we are back into bearish scenario. But you see the water curve is bearish, so we are looking for bearish opportunities more, because there are more chances of it actually more chances of them winning than long opportunities. So we had a signal here which actually never reached its profit target initially, and then market reversed. It went up. It never reached there. Why? Because we are still in bearish mode. There are more chances of bearishness. Remember, we also looked into the weekly time frame. Let me show you that once more. So this water curve has changed its direction. It has changed its color from blue to red. It has been months since it has been bullish. Now this has changed to bearish. That means there is more opportunity onto the sell side. And on the daily time frame, we will have to just focus on that, what the market is telling us. The market is telling that there are better opportunities on the sell side. So this was the signal, and this was the profit target, which has obviously been met on the water. And this was the signal. This target has also been met. This signal and the target have not been met, because there are more chances of it actually falling down. There are more probabilities. So the market has now created this time pattern, and if the market starts to go higher, then we know that it is going to form an M pattern. So if I go down to 4-hour time frame, we are looking for some kind of confirmation here. And if you know how to use water, then you will know that this will turn into blue or green from here at the bottom. And then we will see a bluish color here, and then we will look for a trade here. So this is what we have on gold. If you enjoyed this analysis, make sure you hit the like button and share it with other traders and trading communities. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a great trading week next week. If you're interested in learning how to analyze the markets the way I do using Fibonacci Confluence, then head over to vikinsa.com, and under training section you'll be able to see core strategy training program. On this page, you will be able to see the testimonials of previous students and also look at the brochure. The brochure has a lot more information, including the course structure and the Fibonacci Confluence training program curriculum. This is a very extensive program in which we cover basic core Fibonacci concepts along with the advanced concepts to analyze the markets with high probability. If you're interested in joining this program, come to vikinsar.com and under training section, you'll be able to see and submit this form.